Hey folks, how you doing? It's Clay Francisco here again, and doing a second video this week. I recorded one yesterday and uploaded it. I'm going to record another one today, see how it goes. Trying to do more videos. And so today's video is actually going to be about a short story that I'm trying to write, and I'm just going to go through and give you those 12 plot points, right? I gave them in the last video just to show, you know, what I'm doing and how I'm trying to just break this stuff down. I'm trying to get new writing processes down, right? Now that it's 2019 and I've got an entire year of writing under my belt and experimenting and testing and seeing what I do and don't like, it is time, right? I bought Scrivener last year. I'm going to be doing a couple more Scrivener videos as I do updates for that book. I'm going to be doing a couple more videos for Inkscape as well on how to do your own book covers, if that's something that's interesting for you guys. But what I wanted to do right now is just go over, kind of as a journal, really, what I'm doing in this story, how I've gone about it, what my process has been, and just share with you from beginning to end my journey of hopefully getting a short story out that's like under 10,000 words, right? I'd really like to get this thing out in 5,000 words. And so, yeah, we'll just get started, all right? So I just started plotting out a basic outline, right? My short story started with this basic idea of, you know, a boy is fishing in a village stream when the ghost of some fairy, you know, appears to him asking for his help, follows this fairy into a clearing, a fairy ring. And when the boy gets into the center of the ring, he is, you know, beckoned over the threshold into the Fey realm, and there he is given a task, of course, right? And the Fey realm is actually under attack, and the person who lured them into the realm is the one responsible, and they have to get a hero to clean up their mess for them. But because they're going into a realm that is also not magical, like the human realm, they must bring a non-magical person with them, right? Anyway, there's rules. This happens. They get stuck on the journey. They're not too happy about it. He's brought to the front lines of the Portal Wars, whatever that's going to be, right? It's the edge, the front line of where all these beasts are coming in and busting into the Fey realm. What they do is they end up finding out that it's a realm of hulking orc beasts and every other imaginable brutish thug-style barbarian creature that is too dumb to feel somebody even looking at them. What I wrote, right? So it's that kind of idea that these guys are just instinctual beasts that, you know, basically a whole planet of hulks where nobody's that strong, but they're all that dumb. So yeah, here we go. Da-da-da-da-da. Now we're on to the adventure part, the 3 trials. I don't know how much I want to make this 3 distinct trials, right? I've got 2 options that I'm working with. I either make them literally do like a Harry Potter, or, you know, this current, you know, school style thing that everybody does where they are hosted at this, you know, demon or warlock or whatever's place, and this big baddie. And he then literally gives them 3 challenges that they have to do over 3 distinct days. Maybe. We'll see. Then the other one is that these trials happen naturally over the course of them having to get the MacGuffin. MacGuffin is a writing term or a film term, maybe, for the magical or the non-magical thing. If you ever saw Pulp Fiction, the briefcase in Pulp Fiction is a MacGuffin. You never know what's in it. It's just a glowing light, but the whole movie's about it. That, right? Get the thing to do the thing. The thing they need to do is close the portal, right? And so whatever it is to do that, I'm thinking it's going to be like the other half of some kind of seed, right, that gets planted, and they've got to like dig up the plant or something. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but there's 3 trials. A test of strength, right? A test of loyalty, and then, you know, like kind of like a test of sacrifice. It's another loyalty test, but it's not to each other, it's to the mission and the world, right? It's a greater altruism sort of test. Yeah, some other stuff, right? Those trials actually happen. So doing some plot gardening stuff a la Chris Fox. As I turned the page here, I realized I want to make the MC, the main character, a girl, right? A woman, and the girl, probably in like the, you know, 14 to 16 range, you know, that's sort of too early to be married off, but definitely, you know, that's the way it was back then, right? And so I want to kind of make them that age, and then do a fun thing where they're given a choice to either spend 364 days in the fairy realm and 1 day on Earth, or, you know, in reality, whatever you want to call it, or 364 days in reality and 1 day in the fairy realm. And that ends up being that journey home choice, right? For, you know, what kind of person do they want to be? And I think that works really well if I do it with a female protagonist, right? And so I've got a new start to the story all over again, right? You can't really see it, but I just literally took it, and instead of a girl is about a boy, or instead of a boy it's about a girl, right? So a fairy boy looking for a cure for his ailing mother opens a portal to a realm that contains an ancient, powerful magic. But when he opens the portal, he finds a realm devoid of all magic and inhabited by hulking creatures who are killing their way into the Fey realm because they are trying to escape an evil wizard, hence sensing the magic in the realm. But it's actually one dude who's super powerful. The fairies cannot close the portal without defeating the evil wizard, now holding the portal open from his end. 1, because the brutes that come through are all magically enslaved. And 2, because the fairies lose almost all of their magical abilities when in the other realm, which is why they need a human or non-magical ally. The boy still has the other half of what I'm calling the portal seed and needs to accompany the human hero as the navigator / lodestone so they can find the other half. I think I like that better, right? And so then I tried to write a log line for it to make sure that I am really honing down, really narrowing things out. Some of the stuff I've been reading as far as like the writing blogs and just books and this, that, and the other, say a really good way to keep focused is to write that tagline, right? And so on the next page, that's what I've got down here. A human girl is lured into a magical adventure where she must defeat an evil wizard and close a dimensional gateway before the fairy realm is overrun and all magic on Earth is destroyed. Might be interesting. I don't know if people care. But anyway, that's what I did, right? I wrote a log line, and then from there, I gave myself the 12 steps of the hero's journey, right? And we've got, starting with 1, the ordinary world, fishing or berry picking, whatever she's doing at the moment to do her regular harvest chores in the morning. The call to action is get led into the fairy ring and transported, right? Refusal of the call, the realization that they aren't here for fun or to be a fairy princess or anything awesome. No. You've got 3 brothers for a reason and are 5'8" for a reason. Sorry, girl. You're gonna have to fight. Meeting the master, the leader of the fairies shows the girl the consequences and the downside of what's happening, right? You know, if you don't do this, then this, right? The world is destroyed. Then there's crossing the threshold, literally going into the other realm. Literally crossing the threshold. Tests allies and enemies, point 6 in the hero's journey. This is actually tests allies and enemies, and the inmost cave are kind of going to be the same sort of plot point, I think. Because it's, you know, just literally going into the other realm, fighting off the first few enemies, right? You know, getting your butt handed to you. You know, this, you're not used to this. This is definitely a foreign place. You know, feeling, and then, you know, into the inmost cave, which is feeling overwhelmed as the new realm is revealed. They face off against the wizard and lose, right? Because it's the first time they meet him, they realize that they're actually in this against magic and all kinds of other stuff, and the stakes have been raised. Then bullet point 8, the ordeal, right? This is when the main character thinks their companion has died and that they are trapped in the other realm forever, right? Then you get the reward, or seizing the sword. MC finds out that their companion was only transported back to the fairy realm, not killed. They're just there by themselves. The road back. The main character defeats the wizard with the help of a band of freed locals, right? These brutes. And because of the knowledge that the wizard has a weakness, right? Armed with the knowledge that the wizard has a weakness, he only has one type of magic, right? So if you were going to think about this in like Skyrim terms, right? You know what I mean? He's only an illusionist or whatever, right? Conjuring and that kind of stuff. Resurrection, point 11. MC figures out how to use the fairy gifts with their own meager magical abilities. Because human beings, we're not magical, but we're not magical in this mythos, right? Because the human realm is so intertwined with the fairy realm, I'm going to have bits of magic and bits of strength lead into the character, and so they will be able to summon a little bit of resistance against the wizard. And then return with the elixir, point 12. They return to their realm and are given the 1 day per year choice, right? And then they decide, right, you know, whether or not they're going to live as a fairy or live as a human. And that's the end of the story, right? You know, it's whether or not you go home or whether or not you go off into the craziness. And of course you go home and you just spend 1 day as a fairy eating, you know, whatever porridge it is that your mom made you go pick blueberries for in the first place. But that's the basics of it, right? And I think, you know, I broke it down with those 12 chapters, right, for the 12 bullet points of the hero's journey. And at only 500 words each, right, which is real narrow, that equals a 6,000 word story. Right, that's just the math. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now. I am just filling out pages, trying to do each one for a bullet point, or for a plot point. Hero's journey point, I don't know what they called them. And that's what I'm doing. And so hopefully I will have another update and show you guys, where I'm going to be at with this short story here in the next little bit, because I'd really like to get a draft done this week or next week, in the next few days. And so wish me luck. If you want to see more of this and keep up with my progress on where I'm going with this short story, little fairy tale, like, subscribe, watch more of my videos, and yeah, thank you very much. You guys have a great day.